Space, the final frontier.
Wow. What a way to start the program. William Shatner.
Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization.
Yes.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Might be some good trivia. Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Not too bad out there right now. It isn't 90-something degrees and feels like a buck something, which is kind of nice, kind of refreshing. You can actually go outdoors. Neato on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, just cranking up the program there with a little Star Trek circa late 60s. William Shatner. I was checking out a little Star Trek action the other night. There's one of these channels, I don't know what it is. I'm just flipping through them and I land on it. I couldn't tell you. Half the shows I watch, if they're on this channel or that channel, I have no idea. I have enough trouble keeping up on the new episodes of what I like and what night they come on. But anyway, I was checking out a little Star Trek. They play all different kinds. The old stuff, the middle-aged stuff, the newer ones, the older movies, the newer movies, all kind of stuff. It's like Star Trek for a few hours a night. I don't know if it's like some, weekly thing it's gone down. I've just happened to land on it. It's monthly. It's all the time. Anyway, just hearing Captain Kirk there got me thinking, which is scary. When he died, what were his final words? What were his final words? I think his second to last words were, "It was fun." It was fun, I think. Something about fun. It was fun. We had fun. Something. Wasn't it fun? That was the kind of second to final words that William Shatner said in the Star Trek episode. If you're really good, I'll tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. There's some Trekkie out there that sadly knows the answer to that like me. Yikes. And I don't think I'm a Trekkie, but yeah, I grew up in the 70s, so my older brother kind of liked the series. I get it. I didn't watch it in prime time. I think I was watching early to mid 70s reruns of Star Trek, wherever that ran. Because I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4 when that was airing for 3 seasons before it was canceled. Anyway, yeah, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate trivia, and I just added to it with Captain Kirk, Star Trek, his final words before he passed, before he died. Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse on this Thursday afternoon. All right, let's jump into it. This is kind of exactly what's wrong with New Orleans politics, this sort of situation right here. Jay Banks, nothing special about him at all, just sort of painfully average, just a regular guy. Even with the FBI snipping around his company, this kind of BS consulting firm, this Jalen group that him and his brother own, taking Karen Carter Peterson's money, taking Louisiana Democrat Party money, $327,000 of that money, $327,000 more than you have. I shouldn't say they got all of the $327,000 because I'm assuming some of it was kicked back to Karen Carter Peterson. Another $100,000 radio buy 1 year for 1 month, like the month of October, $100,000 radio buy. Just insane stuff that the FBI is basically saying none of it went down. Like minimum services at best on the greatest day in the world. Minimum, like no way to justify any of the expenses, but minimum service provided, and most of it proof of no service provided, just a money transaction. money going from Karen Carter Peterson's campaign fund, folks that donated, trusting her, and the Democrat Party, people that donated to that. She was president of that. She gave $327,000 to the Jalen Group, plus another $100,000, basically all unaccounted for, just free money for those guys. So even with all that going on, Karen Carter Peterson, the FBI sniffing around, the Jalen Group, who knows? Jay Banks, his brother, they might get indicted by the feds. I mean, what do you think? That they're innocent and they did nothing wrong and we're just doing a legitimate job? Or do you think political Louisiana shenanigans were going down? New Orleans political shenanigans. You've got some information. What do you think went down? I mean, it's more than got some splaining to do. And boy, some folks, if you're like hardcore Democrat, hardcore Republican, hardcore white, hardcore black, you will try to find anything to justify what has gone down, to make it sound legit. Anything, just totally grasping at straws. Anyway, Mayor Cantrelle anoints former city councilman Jay Banks. That was such a nice victory by Leslie Harris, just coming out of nowhere and knocking politically, entrenched Jay Banks. No, Jay Banks, Jalen Group, folks like that, as just a native New Orleanian, Louisiana boy, it's just like, hey, could you get a job for once in your life like everybody else? You know how many people don't like their job? It's not, man, I love my job. And there's some people that hate their job and they're stuck in it. And they have to do a job they don't even really like. And they got to get up early or go in late or go in on weekends or just don't like it, stuck in some cubicle, stuck in some, place they don't want to be for 8 hours every day. And they're going back tomorrow and the day after that. And then there's a lot of people that like their jobs, but it's a job. You have to go in and perform. And actually, there's something that's done at the end. The folks at the end of the day are like, boy, that Billy, he's valuable to us. He does something for us. He goes above and beyond. He doesn't just go through the motions. He cares. He's entrenched. He gives a what. So, I mean, they're all different kind of jobs. They're all different types of people that love their job, hate their job. Point is, all of us legitimate people have to work for a living. Have to work. And it's not, man, I'm just smarter and you work harder for your money. I don't work as hard, but I'm smart and I'm still making my money and giving something to someone. No one's getting anything on the other. You're not smarter or working better. There's no end result. Your resume's blank. It's like the old sewage and water board guy, Cedric Grant, appointed, anointed for his whole life. Zero. I mean, can't tell anyone anything that, man, I did this and it helped out these people. Nothing. Like 30, 40-year political hack. No, get a job. My God, like everybody else, black, white, old, young, Republican, Democrat, gay, straight, we all work for a living. Most of us, it's actually legitimate. What we do is what we get paid for. And for a lot of us, we don't get paid enough for what we do. But we work. We earn it. We earn it. The money we got, we earned. It's not a free ride, free money. No, and these folks hang around a bunch of clowns like themselves, wink, wink, whatever, and then all of a sudden it becomes natural, like legitimized. Becomes legitimized. That's human nature. Bum around the bums like you and makes you look pretty good. Anyway, Jay Banks is now the urban policy specialist for the city of New Orleans. And taxpayers are giving Jay Banks $85,000 a year to do absolutely nothing. I promise you. This is like a junket kind of thing. Nothing, zero. Not a dollar, not a job. Nothing will benefit the citizens of New Orleans from the mayor, LaToya Cantrelle, hiring Jay Banks as urban policy specialist. What a crock of blank. All while the FBI is sniffing this guy and his brother's company for taking money from Karen Carter Peterson, a convicted felon who was head of not only her own campaign funds, but the Democrat Party of Louisiana. Millions. And she gave $350,000 to Jay Banks and his brother to do what? According to the FBI, we have no idea. And another $100,000 for a radio buy that, according to the FBI, may or may not have even existed. Now, it's nice to get free money if you can get it, I guess. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, no cool socks. NolaAC.com, no cool socks.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at Rouse's.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms, with high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, if you got Captain Kirk's final words on Star Trek before he died, I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. The Woodhouse, the city's premier day spa with 4 locations, coming soon. A 5th location in Mandeville. Yeah, you right. The Woodhouse Day Spa. You can find out more about those guys at nola.woodhousespas.com. nola.woodhousespas.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. 4 o'clock hour of the program. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Man, you got to check this show out, The Neutral Ground. This guy tells it like it is. 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. We're on 107.9 FM. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. 600 AM. That bad boy reaches the beaches of the panhandle of Florida. From Baton Rouge through the North Shore to southern Alabama, panhandle of Florida. Hey, we're on TV all over Louisiana. If you subscribe to Cox Television, we're on Your View Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4. Cox Channel 4, weekdays starting at 4. You charter subscribers in Louisiana, that's Spectrum TV. Spectrum Channel 333. Just like Cox Channel 4. Weekday afternoons, 4 to 5:30, 90 minutes of fun on TV all over Louisiana. Live streaming. You can listen or watch live streaming on our website, CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey, K-A-A-R-E, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. And yeah, the last few months we've been on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube. Click to subscribe. Tell your friends that you can watch at your convenience. Watch it live. Watch the program live. Pull it up live on YouTube and just listen. Watch if you want to. Or check us out after the fact on YouTube, on Anchor, on iTunes, on Spotify. Lots of ways to check out the program. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. What benefit does Jay Banks bring to the average citizen of New Orleans? Why is that such a crucial hire for Mayor LaToya Cantrelle, creating this urban policy specialist position out of thin air and paying Jay Banks $85,000 or more than double the average family of 4, what the average family of 4 makes in Orleans Parish, or what you folks in New Orleans East make. Mostly black folks, $10,000 less than that average. New Orleans East, if the average in New Orleans, I don't know, $38,000 to $42,000 a year for average family of 4. In New Orleans East, it's about $10,000 less, around $32,000 a year. Jay Banks makes $85,000 a year doing absolutely nothing. His boss is the mayor. There's no one going, hey, it's 9 a.m. Jay's not here. Man, it's 5 p.m. Where did Banks go? Dang, man, Banks has been gone over an hour for lunch. There's no one anywhere at City Hall monitoring Jay Banks if he comes or goes. And there's nothing that Jay Banks has to do every day, every week, every month. There's nothing that he's responsible for. There's nothing the mayor could say right now. Oh, no, Jay Banks, we're expecting XYZ from. Urban policy specialist. While the FBI sniffing around his BS consulting firm with his brother that took in, I don't know, almost $500,000 over a few years from Karen Carter Peterson, and according to the FBI, for doing very little, at best, to nothing. Let's hire that guy because it's so crucial, and he's just a change agent and a difference maker, and he's the one that did blah, blah, blah. And boy, you can't do it without him. We got Drew Brees. We got Jeff Ireland. He's got some people that are special, that are just going to really make a difference. Like I said earlier, what a crock of. Let's go to the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. To the North Shore, Trey Yen country. James joins us on the program. What up, James?
Hi, Corey. Yeah, a quick question. It was something that you said the other day, and I didn't get a chance to call in. That Myles Brennan thing, and I just wanted to say this here. What a waste of a talent there. Do you think he'll sign with somebody who's only got a few more weeks? I mean, really, that's got to be the worst story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, and, it's not. If you're an LSU fan and you know this is like a kid that sort of bleeds LSU and stuck around, was behind Joe Burrow, looked like the heir apparent a few times, left the program, got into the transfer portal for a few weeks. Kelly talks him back into it, and then Kelly brings in another quarterback Jaden Daniels, who's going to be the starter from Arizona State. Now, James, I know this for a fact. It's funny. The other day, someone brought up Myles Brennan, and I was like, there's got to be another program. I don't know if Southern Miss or a program like that needs a quarterback or a Power 5 or whatever. Southern Miss, I think, actually approached Myles Brennan about coming to Hattiesburg, and he'd be the starter, and he'd be playing the whole season for those guys. I just think his heart was into being the LSU starter. When that appeared, it wasn't going to happen. I think he's just like, I'm 23. I'm a 6-year senior. I've done enough. I'm just going to chill out from now on. So I don't know. I'm sure there are programs. I'm not going to say beating down his door, but I bet you there's programs, plural, that to this day are trying to get in touch with Myles Brennan and talk him into coming over.
Well, I'll say this one thing here. When he gets to about 45, about 50, about 55, he's going to regret that not taking that Southern Miss job and because what a waste of talent, if he doesn't take that job, because he's only got about 2 more weeks, huh? When school starts, it's too late, right?
I don't know where that ends. I would think that's probably right. Enrollment when these whatever school it is where they have student enrollment.
The next 2 weeks are going to be a big decision. I hope he thinks about that because he's going to regret that when he gets to about 45 or 50 or 55.
Well, he definitely, I don't know if he's going to regret it or not. He had a lot of time in college football and saw the field a little bit, was even the starter at LSU until he got hurt. So he could be like, I've fulfilled my dreams. But you're right as far as it looks like he could go to Southern Miss and he would start 12 games for them. And if they have a winning record, they're going to a bowl and it's in his home state and it's in Hattiesburg, not far from the Bay. So no, there's a lot of advantages. And I think, James, like I said, plural, just what I'm thinking, not that I know. Southern Miss, I know for a fact has approached him. I know that for a fact, but I bet you there are other programs too, and I think it's still happening. So we'll see.
What about SMU?
I don't know. I don't know the specifics. You'd have to call like a specific sports talk show that might be better suited to answer that question. I guarantee you someone knows those answers, James.
Well, what a waste of talent then if he doesn't go back.
Yeah, he's definitely a college quarterback. And I'll say this, just from the little bit I've seen, better than most college quarterbacks. See, most college quarterbacks can't stand in the pocket and throw the sideline out. He can. Myles Brennan has some NFL caliber qualities, and a lot of college quarterbacks, most are just best athlete on the team kind of thing.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're right, James. Thanks. Yeah, Myles Brennan. James on the North Shore, thanks for the call. Yeah, Myles Brennan, I think, has choices right now, but Myles Brennan making his own choice, I'm done. And I think that's the case until something changes. And I don't know if anything is going to change, but I think James on the North Shore is right. It's probably like 2 weeks, something like that, or less. And like I was saying, I don't think his door is getting pounded down, but I think, oh, wow, so-and-so is called Michigan State. So I'm just making up schools. Probably very few Power 5, if any. They're probably set right now, but there might be one. Man, we got everything. All we need is a decent quarterback that can just do some things and is viable. And is serviceable and is experienced and smart. And Brennan fits all of that. I don't know if Brennan's an NFL caliber quarterback. I think if he was, and scouts were saying that he was, I think he would be going to Southern Miss or somewhere for a 6th year. I think Myles Brennan knows he's probably not an NFL quarterback. Doesn't have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. So that's probably also part of the reason. Plus, I mean, Myles Brennan comes from a family that's got a little wherewithal. He can do whatever he wants to do. Yesterday, had a caller and kind of ran out of time and didn't get to his question about road projects in New Orleans and why they're slow. Well, road projects in New Orleans are slow because they're just notoriously slow. Because we accept, trash and litter and not cutting the neutral grounds and bad public schools and poor infrastructure and potholes not getting fixed, on and on and on. Crime, lack of economic opportunity, because we settle. So we just think that's how it is in New Orleans. It's sad. They fix a pothole in like 3-4 days in Jefferson Parish. In Orleans, it's 200 days. So no, the road projects are slow because they're just slow. And not everybody's on the same page. So instead of the project getting done all at one time, it gets halfway done and then cones and little streamer things hooked to the cones, blocking off that part of the street, just stays like that for a while till the concrete guys come in or the sewage and water board guys come in or the blacktop guys come in, whatever. So not everybody's on the same page. But the worst part of it is it's still kind of that Reaganitis. If Uptown's a good example. That Britannia, Jefferson Avenue, Napoleon, Louisiana, 4 projects. They were supposed to go 4 different times. Nagin was slow, wasn't organized. The deadline of losing the money came up. They had to do all 4 projects at the exact same time. And that's what's going on right now with a lot of road projects before the money runs out, doing them all at the same time.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
I don't know about you. I love shish kebab. I make shish kebab sometimes. Speaking of that Rouse's commercial, go get some filet or New York strip, even a ribeye, cube it up. Vidalia onions are in season still. Those are really good and sweet. Those are excellent on shish kebab. I like a little salt, black pepper, cayenne too. Drop some coals on the Weber. When I don't feel like messing around and making my own shish kebab, but I'm craving shish kebab, not a lot of New Orleans restaurants have shish kebab. Shrimp, beef, chicken, lamb, yummy. Lebanon's Cafe has shish kebab, and you can get shrimp or beef, chicken or lamb. You can get a combo of any of those two. Get 2 of the 4, shrimp and lamb, chicken and beef, whatever you like. Surf and turf. Lebanon's Cafe, home of shish kebab. I don't know too many restaurants. Is there another New Orleans restaurant that has shish kebab? Lebanon's Cafe, all those Middle Eastern sides to go with it. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. They're open every day of the week except Tuesdays. Lunch and dinner, 6 days a week, every day but Tuesday. So good. Tonight, shish kebab, dinner at Lebanon's Cafe. And you know the deal, you old Metairie, old Jefferson Parish folks. River Road Causeway, that intersection, you're less than 5 minutes from Lebanon's. It's right down the street. It's River Road, cross the tracks, Oak Street to Carrollton, 3 blocks down on your left, Carrollton at Jeanette. You can't miss it, the big green awning, Lebanon's Cafe, yummy. Jay Banks, the city's new urban policy specialist. I just feel really good. I think there's going to be a lot of buildings downtown with names like Microsoft, Cisco Systems, big time jobs. Might see Google, something major, Apple, big Apple with the bite taken out the side of it on a downtown building. We might see cranes in the air because Jay Banks is our new urban policy specialist. Thank God. He's pulling $85K. Can anyone on planet Earth, including anyone at City Hall, tell me what Jay Banks is going to do? Can Jay Banks tell me what he's going to do, what his job entails, besides inserting thumb up rear end? Jeez and Pete's, urban policy specialist. Hey, Mayor, Jay Banks and his brother are under investigation, arguably. That we know this much. Karen Carter Peterson is a convicted felon. We know she took money from her campaign and from the Louisiana Democratic Party to enrich herself. And she did it by funneling it through different groups like the Jalen Group. Jay Banks and his brother's BS group that took nearly $500,000 over a few years and kicked some back to Karen Carter Peterson and did what with the rest? Who knows? The FBI certainly can't say they did anything with it, that they earned it. The FBI is saying the opposite. They did not earn it. They were just taking some of the money and funneling money back to Karen Carter Peterson. So the mayor's like, let me hire one of those folks. And we'll create this urban policy specialist and pay him nearly $100,000 a year. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. That's her buddy from the council who can't find a gig and now is really in trouble because the feds are all over the Jalen group. So the Democrat Party and other politicians probably aren't funneling him money for no reason anymore. So this $85K a year to do nothing but receive a city check. I've talked about, the future of the mayor. It's like these NIL deals with college football. The game has changed. This work from home, which works, by the way. The private sector sees an increase in productivity with come to the office sometimes, stay at home and work sometimes. I don't care if you're in your boxer shorts and wink, wink. I don't care if you're having a beer. Go pick up your dry cleaning. If productivity is up, we don't care what you're doing. Don't care what you're doing. Go to the strip joint in the middle of the day. Don't care. Productivity's up with you compared to you being in the office all the time. That's fine. City halls around the country are going to embrace this. Could you imagine the power you have as mayor of New Orleans in the future with the stay-at-home job? I mean, you just come up with a gimmick like urban policy specialist, come up with a salary like $85,000, hire some do-nothing person like Jay Banks that brings nothing to the table, and that person owes you. Hey, man, give me $30,000. I'm running for mayor. When I am mayor, I'll get you a BS job with the city paying more than that every year for the rest of your life, or at least while I'm mayor. I know you do it from home, and we're going to call it urban forward-thinking group specialist, inner city communications guru specialist. I mean, you just make anything up. Could have someone just sit there to make up a bunch of names, fake titles. No, and then you're working from home, and then that's how you get the kickback. That's just right away, that's what I think of when I think about that. I don't think of, improved productivity, a smaller city hall in the future. Don't need to build as big a building. Most folks are going to do stuff through technology. You can shrink the city hall employee. I'm thinking like that. Should be thinking like that. No, I'm thinking it's New Orleans and, taking advantage of that and more money going out the door and New Orleans citizens getting nothing in return. And as we spoke about it yesterday, the mayor and the city's idea of contesting the consent decree, I was saying, just from what this judge is saying so far, hadn't made a ruling yet. It looks like it's backfiring. It backfired. The federal judge actually increased scrutiny of the NOPD. So it's an enhanced consent decree compared to what it was before the mayor and the city went in front of that federal judge. Basically, I was saying yesterday, the argument sounds pretty good. I've been under the consent decree for 10 years. It's hindering police. They can't do their job effectively. You've put the handcuffs on police. We've really done a great job, working with this consent decree for a decade now, almost a decade, 8 years. Time to remove it because it's a hindrance and it's causing a rise in crime in New Orleans. And this judge said, wait, time out. A consent decree is never supposed to be a hindrance or restrict you from fighting crime. It's supposed to reel in a police department that was out of control, especially with civil rights violations and the like. So you can't blame the consent decree on you're not policing well because of the consent decree. That's never the case. Wow, you're saying you're not policing well? You're not policing well because of some other problem. We need to enhance the consent decree. No, this judge is smart. This judge is like, we need to monitor you more because you're obviously not getting the job done. You're not getting the ball across the goal line. No, if I were the NOPD police chief, I would have a meeting with these woke judges. I would have a meeting with the DA. I mean, it's like the players only meeting with the team. The coaches aren't there. The leaders of the team get together. If I was the NOPD, I'd get the leaders together and I'd make sure those woke judges and DA are there and say, hey, if we don't start all working on the same page, we're going to start having really major problems, worse than what we're seeing right now, and we're going to lose this city because we're on the brink of losing it right now. No, the consent decree actually enhanced. If you're like the consent decree is a negative, it's worse than it was before yesterday because of the mayor and the city going in front of this very savvy, smart judge, a fair-minded judge. By the way, a Bill Clinton-appointed judge, a Democrat, or Obama, I should say, Obama-appointed judge. So it isn't some, Trump-appointed judge with some Metairie agenda coming after New Orleans. No, the judge knows the police, knows the chief, knows the situation. The chief knows the judge. No, the judge is right. The judge is right on the money. The NFL and DeShaun Watson, I guess they split the difference, huh? I guess they split the difference. A judge said 6-game suspension. And it's so funny, I'm not trying to be critical of sports people, but a lot of folks were, the NFL, what a bunch of hypocrites, 6 games. But the NFL didn't come up with that. The judge did. It was outside of the NFL. The NFL, a few weeks later, says, we'd like him to sit out the whole season. So that was their argument, and they appealed that ruling. The NFL and DeShaun Watson's people got together and they banged out an 11-game suspension and $5 million in fines that DeShaun Watson will pay, which is, I guess, what's his contract like? Almost $250,000. So that's going to be about 2% of his contract, $5 million, 2.5% of his contract, let's say. $5 million in fines, but his suspension's now 11 games. And a lot of folks are like, wow, you think it's a coincidence that he comes back for Cleveland, Houston, the Cleveland Texans game? The NFL is embracing that. I think the NFL loves that. But I also think the 11 games is kind of splitting the difference between the judge's 6 and the NFL wanting the entire season. And it's probably DeShaun Watson's people saying, we got to make a compromise. We ain't getting 6, but we don't want to do the whole season. Let's meet in the middle, 11. Okay.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30. And they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday. Dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring East Bankers, West Bankers. You'll work at their Elmwood facility right under the UEP Long Bridge. Hey, you North Shore folks, Latrim has a Hammond facility right off I-12. Latrim's got you covered, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. They're hiring dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs. A new career awaits you at Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. On the floor of the studio was like a piece of plastic with little holes in it, and I realized it came off like one of the mixing boards or whatever. I've got some friends, they keep the plastic film on products. I was at a buddy's house, and like there was this plastic film on like the bottom of his TV, and I just grabbed the corner of it and just ripped the thing off, and my buddy had a friggin' meltdown. He like freaked. I was like, dude, I thought you just didn't see it, and now I notice you've got it all over your TV. He's like, yeah. I'm like, why? It's like protecting it. I'll never forget the Rolling Stones went to, it's like some PBS special there in like Fats Domino's house, his old house in the 9th Ward that got flooded out after Katrina. And Fats Domino has the like plastic over the lampshades, the plastic over the seat cushions on the couch, the little plastic runner on the carpet where you walk. I'm just thinking to myself, are you ever going to use the products that you got, Fats? And I mean, it's just a weird mentality. I'm not dogging Fats. There's a lot of people that do it that are, all different types of people. Rich, poor, black, white, all different socioeconomic levels. Just keep the plastic film on products and keep the lampshade plastic thing on and have the room where you put new carpeting in blocked off from the dog or something, or just, I don't know. It's like, when are you going to use that? One day you're going to peel the plastic off and use that product from 1975. Wow. I love getting this guy on the program. He's a real hero. He's like one of those offensive linemen. You always hear about the wide receiver, the running back, or the quarterback, those skill position players. But the big offensive lineman, the guard that's breaking all the holes open for the running back, who's protecting the quarterback so he can make all those wonderful throws, who's protecting the QB so the wideout can run the route, has the time to run the route. Doesn't get a lot of recognition. Doing the dirty work, the grunt work. That's Jeff Dorson over at the Humane Society of Louisiana. If you don't believe me, they do a great job updating what they do on their Facebook page, Humane Society of Louisiana, and you'll see what they do. Their website's humanela.org. You can find out more about them there, humanela.org. Jeff Dorson joins us on the program. What's up, Jeff?
What an introduction. Every week I'm just never know what you're going to say, and it's always flattering, and I appreciate it. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, you and I both care about animals, willing to do whatever it takes. So thank you again for all those nice things you say. And thanks to you, we do have more supporters and volunteers. So these 5 minutes mean a lot.
You could be Fletcher Mackle, and I'd call you like a rat bastard or something like that.
Right. Well, again, thanks that you put me always in the best light. So here's what we've been working on, working with Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office. Being an advocacy group means that we're always trying to get law enforcement, elected officials, anybody who will listen to do their job and do it well and look out for animals. It's usually a challenge because we're competing with everybody else for their attention, but Rapides Parish did a great job. If you Google Cypress Arrow Training Academy, the rest of the nation, you'll be shocked like the rest of the nation was. The trainer and operator, Tina Frey, was shown cross-tying her clients' dogs and whipping them with like a horsewhip in the face. It's a training that we've never seen. We never hope to see it again. It was horrific. And I think we got about 500 communications from around the world of people upset. And that's only a fraction of what the sheriff's got. Well, this morning they arrested the mother and the daughter for 2 counts of felony. So good for them.
Now it's Cypress Arrow what?
K9 Training Academy.
And it's just the biggest oxymoron because there's no canine training going on. It's like an abuse house.
You know what? That's the good way to put it. Yeah, we didn't see a whole lot of TLC or positive reinforcement. We see people really mistreating animals at a very high rate and the animals having a terrible time. So if you want to be upset, go ahead, Google that. But just know that the authorities took it extremely seriously. We are in communication with them just from the sidelines, offering some suggestions and guidance. We're going to offer expertise. We're going to fly in witnesses should they want it. Not witnesses, experts to give testimony on, does this constitute cruelty, which I think everybody will agree. Yeah, of course it does.
Which parish was this again, Jeff?
Rapides Parish, way up north.
Yeah.
One of the things we have is a big Rolodex after 30-some years in business. Luckily, we keep talking to people and remembering them and establishing relationships so that when we need each other, we can reach out. So that's exactly what happened. When the story first broke, they called me to confer, like, what do we do now? And it's complicated. There were a lot of clients involved, a lot of dogs involved, just a little bit of evidence to start with. But I don't want to take all your time on that.
No, and you don't want to go off half-cocked on something like that because you can wreck the felony arrest where they can hide something or avoid something but if you do it right, you get what happened where these cops went in and arrested the mother and daughter. Plus 2 felony counts each is nice. Felony counts, it's not a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're absolutely right. So they took a week. Well, the nation, given it's Louisiana, thought we weren't doing the right thing. We were sweeping it under the rug. She was a reserve deputy. She thought there was a contact that they were going to play nice with her. None of that was true. None of it. They worked very, very hard to sort through exactly what you said. What is the evidence that is admissible and will stick?
Yep.
And what is it that can't be used? They'll have to leave out.
Yeah, exactly.
So for them.
Hey, Jeff, the website's humanela.org. Jeff needs you to volunteer. Jeff needs you to donate Be a monthly donor. Donate a big chunk right now, a little chunk. HumaneLA.org. Jeff, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Always. Thanks.
HumaneLA.org. Corey Johnson with your 5 o'clock power hour next.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prefix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Exciting and now normally we run a lot of old television themes as our intro, but this is just live in studio. Jason's a big Love Boat fan. He likes the bartender. What's his name again?
Sweetest reward.
The bartender's name. Gopher? Maybe Gopher?
It floats back to
I think he's Gopher, Jason. Jason's looking at me like, dude, never watched Love Boat in my life. Got no clue. Don't know who Gavin McLeod is, bro. I think he's Gopher. Oh, no, the bartender might have been the black guy. Yeah, hey, with the click, click, and the point the finger. Didn't he do that like in the, hey, I'm betting your wife tonight. Who was Gopher? Come on, Jason. This is Love Boat. This is like common knowledge. You should know this. And you pathetically knew Ted Lange or whatever his name is. You knew him. What's that? Fred Grandy is Gopher. And what's Gopher do? He wasn't the bartender because that was the black guy. He's what? He's captain of some sort. Jeez. Gopher. He just must be the Gavin McLeod's like number 2. He's like Mr. Spock. Hey, I forgot my glasses. Go get them. Hey, I need a glass of water, Gopher. Go get them. Anyway, we're going to run Love Boat until 6 o'clock. You guys have a great evening, everyone. Are we out yet, Jason? Has Love Boat started yet? Or do I have to stand here and just smile at the camera and we're going to have dead air on the radio? Did Love Boat start? How's this? I'll make noise so the radio people are aware I'm still here. Love Boat next. It's still not there. Okay, they're telling me now, Jason, on this big old card. We're old school. No Love Boat. Keep going. And he's trying to get the Love Boat queued up. He's rewinding a Betamax, it looks like back. Is that a Betamax? Wow. Love Boat. All right, we'll do Love Boat tomorrow, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Love Boat reruns. I don't promise. It is a Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour tonight. Brought to you by Fury's, or I should say this afternoon, brought to you by Fury's. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, open till 9 p.m. Fresh local seafood like flounder, snapper, speckled trout. Absolutely incredible. Fried, broiled, grilled. Manny and John have been at it 39 years at Fury's. You want to know what their biggest concern is? Neither one of them are like talking retirement. They're worried about their 2 seafood purveyors retiring. Not one, but 2 great South Louisiana seafood purveyors they've been using for decades. That's how they get all this fresh local seafood. Is there another restaurant, seriously, in New Orleans that you can walk into tonight and there's a pretty good chance speckled trout, flounder, and snapper will be available? I can't think of one except Fury's. Open till 9 p.m. Start with a cup of gumbo, a cup of turtle soup. Depending on how many people are at the table, either a small or large order of onion rings, a must. Local fresh seafood. They're open till 9 p.m. tonight. What are you waiting for? Fury's Restaurant in Metairie. So good. So good. Manny and John will take care of you. They're in there. They're open right now. Fury's in Metairie. 5 o'clock power hour. Hey, if you got Captain Kirk's final words on Star Trek before he died, 2 words. I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. 4 area locations. A 5th Woodhouse coming online soon. The Woodhouse Mandeville location. Yeah, you right. Someone did answer our Joe Biedenharn question yesterday. That's right. Yay! Because of Monroe, Jason. More than Joe Biedenharn. He's the first Coca-Cola bottler outside of Atlanta, and he started Delta Airlines. Yeah, all our trivia's answered, I think, except the what did Captain Kirk say before he died? And I guess there's actually 2 answers to that. Because he I remember, I forgot who the guy is. I think it was, at least it looks like, it may not be the guy, but it looks like Ferris Bueller's Day Off's friend was the captain on one of these Star Trek movies for wasn't he? For 10 minutes. And then there was some problem and he's like, Kirk was just there observing. He's like, can you help? What do you suggest, Admiral? And then the Ferris Bueller guy's like, hey, why don't you take over, and I'll go deal with this problem. And then Kirk's like, wow, cool. And he's at the helm again. And he goes, hey, you know what? You're the commander of the Enterprise. I'll go deal with the problem. And then something blew up, and that's how Kirk died. So you could argue that the line was whatever he told the Ferris Bueller guy, I'll go deal with that. He said something like that. But there's I don't know, whatever your boy is, the bald Captain Kirk, Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard character. That's 80 years in the future, I guess, of whatever the regular Star Trek was. And they had that movie where they went back in time and Kirk and he helped kill the Zoran dude, Roddy McDowall, I think, the Caligula dude. Well, Roddy McDowall, I think, was the character, the evil guy. Anyway, that's where Kirk died. Right there. But, you could argue, no, he died 78 years earlier on the Enterprise when some torpedo blew up the side of the hull of the ship where he was standing, and I guess he just disintegrated or died and floated out into space. Anyway, what's that? I've lost the entire radio and television audience with that pathetic Star Trek rant. All right. Anyway, what were Captain Kirk's final words, if you know the answer? Yeah, GQ and Covington, peace out. That wasn't it. Could you imagine? Kirk, peace out, bro. Peace out. That's worth a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, GQ. GQ emailed us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. You can email us. Positive comment, negative comment, critique, question, statement, whatever you like. Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Hey, Helm Paint and Decorating has 7 locations in Metro New Orleans for your convenience, plus free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans so you can keep working. You can find whatever you're looking for online, and Helm will deliver it to you. So convenient. I like the drive-through at the Earhart location. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, it's easy. Do it once, do it right. Helm Paint and Decorating. They'll steer you in the right direction. That's a no-brainer. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Jay Banks is the City of New Orleans' new urban policy specialist. And by golly, the city is saved. Unbelievable. Talk about appointed, anointed nonsense. I don't know what the mayor's thinking, besides just creating this position to set up her friend Jay Banks. Did the mayor even think about the FBI sniffing around Jay Banks and his brother's BS consulting firm, that Jalen Group? that took nearly $500,000 from Karen Carter Peterson and the Louisiana Democratic Party? Now, Karen Carter Peterson's pled guilty to a few felonies, and she's saying she went through that group to get money kicked back to her so she could keep the money from her campaign fund and from the Democrat Party, stealing from her own campaign fund and the Louisiana Democrat Party to enrich herself. Now, the Jalen group didn't do it for nothing. They got their little kickback too. So that's you can think it's all nonsense, and Karen Carter Peterson's plea is nonsense, and these are the same people that went after Jason Williams, same people that went after Donald Trump, and you can connect it all together and make it all whatever you want. I try to look at the facts and go with that, and you'd have to be a fool to be like, wow, they're a legitimate group probably. They didn't do anything wrong with Karen Carter Peterson, and the FBI sniffing around them just for poops and giggles. No, the mayor appoints him to a city taxpayer-financed gig, $85,000 a year doing nothing. There'll be no boss. There'll be no one overseeing him. No one's going to go, Jay Banks wasn't here at 9 o'clock. He took longer than an hour for lunch. Why did he leave before 5? None of that. $85,000 a year, urban policy specialist. What a crock of you-know-what. Jay Banks should be nowhere near a free job at City Hall. Come on, Mayor.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal: everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good, and we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris
The
Road.
lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Kermit? Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks for checking us out. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6. We're on YouTube every afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. You can check us out after the fact on YouTube also. Hey, you folks in Louisiana, if you subscribe to Cox Television, we're on from 4 to 5:30. 10 more minutes. Cox Channel 4 TV all over Louisiana. You charter television subscribers, anywhere in Louisiana that you may be, I'm there. Charter or Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 to 5:30 or 10 more minutes. 90 minutes of fun every day on television. 2 big hours on the radio and on YouTube. Yeah, click to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Don't cost nothing. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now on a Thursday afternoon? Kind of the pre-weekend Thursday afternoon route. Go plop down at the bar. A lot of folks getting off work that work the early shift. They get off 2, 3, 4 o'clock. You'll see them at Katie's afterwards. It is a New Orleans neighborhood restaurant that draws people from way beyond the neighborhood. But the vibe's the same. It's like it's everybody's neighbor. It is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, a mainstay in Mid-City. And, you know, in Harahan, they've got Bienvenue on Hickory, right in the curve. That's sort of the Katie's. I shouldn't say sort of. It is the Katie's of Harahan, bringing a little Mid-City New Orleans Katie's flavor to Hickory Avenue. Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville, Corner Talamacus, and the Katie's of Harahan, Bienvenue on Hickory. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. If you know Captain Kirk's final words on Star Trek, you're a Trekkie. What were his final words before he died? Star Trek, I think Generations movie with, Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard. All right, too much Star Trek information. If you got the answer, Captain Kirk's final words, I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. GQ in Covington emailed us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Peace out. That isn't what Captain Kirk said. Peace out, bro. He used the Spock thing. I can't even hook the pinky and index together. I need tape. Sorry, Spock. Live long. Oh, there it is, Jace. I gotta hook it on with the other hand first. Live long and prosper, bro. Live long and prosper. Put up against the glass, dude. Live long and prosper. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm gonna mind meld with you, Jason. Mind meld. Jeez, That's what you got to love about Star Trek back then in the 60s. Just, all right, I'm going to put my hands on your face. You have to act like it's hurting your brain. Grab the console and shake like we're going through some turbulent space. Anyway. A Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Jay Banks is the city's new urban policy specialist. What a crock of you-know-what. Jay Banks, nothing special about him at all, painfully average, kind of a blank resume, done nothing in his life except sort of appointed, anointed, kind of a BS political type. He and his brother, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say under FBI investigation, but Karen Carter Peterson, who pled guilty to enriching herself from her own campaign fund and stealing from the Louisiana Democratic Party's fund, she funneled the money, some of it through the Jalen Group. At least $427,000, according to the FBI. And the FBI says, at the best, very, very little done, and mostly we can't see anything that was done for the money. So, I mean, you're an adult, you take fact-based premises and you stack them on top of each other, fact-based premises, and they usually lead to a very logical, fact-based conclusion. And the conclusion here would be Karen Carter Peterson, who has pled guilty, was funneling money through the Jalen Group and a few others, money from her campaign fund, money from the Louisiana Democratic Party. She was president, controlling millions of dollars. She funneled about $500,000 through Jay Banks and his brother's BS political firm, the Jalen Group, and they kicked her back most of the money, and they kept a percentage. They split it 50-50. I don't know what the deal was. They took 10%. She got 10%. I have no idea. But I think any adult, black or white, Republican or Democrat, looking at the facts, being fair and objective about it, would say Jay Banks and his brother are full of you-know-what, shysters, and they helped Karen Carter Peterson funnel money out of her campaign fund and out of the Louisiana Democratic Party, and they took a kickback of that money. They didn't do it for poops and giggles. They didn't do it for fun. And if they did and took no money, it's illegal. But in spite of all of that, what we know that anyone on the street knows from Karen Carter Peterson's guilty plea, she's a convicted felon. The mayor anoints Jay Banks to this new BS role, just made up, pulled out of her, I don't want to say her rear end, pulled out of thin air, we'll say, urban policy specialist. He'll make $85,000 a year, reporting to no one, responsible for nothing, no goals or objectives. Now, this is city politics at its worst. This is tossing a bone to the old councilman, a friend who lost his council race as an incumbent to newcomer out of nowhere, Leslie Harris. No, and because Jay Banks is like so many other anointed, appointed folks, kind of, I shouldn't say incapable of holding down a job, doesn't want to go get a real job like everybody else, doesn't want to work, wants just free money. Run my Jalen Group, free money. Go get a job with City Hall, free money. Quid pro quo, mayor paying him back for being nice while he was a council person, being an ally of the mayor. Her first term, I don't know what it is, but I know this. Jay Banks, urban policy specialist. There's nothing special about Jay Banks. The FBI thinks Jay Banks and his brother took money from Karen Carter Peterson's campaign and from the Louisiana Democratic Party and provided no services for that money. And who knows if the feds are finished with that? Are they going after Jay Banks next? But the mayor makes him urban policy specialist at $85,000 a year. And you know he's going to do absolutely nothing that benefits a single citizen in the city. Not a dollar for a citizen, not a job creator. Plus, I mean, could be indicted soon. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that's sort of the mayor with the junkets, just like, screw you. The hell with you. I'm my final term. And there's no future for me after this. No one's going, my God, I got to hire Toya Cantrelle. She'll bring money to my firm, to my company. There's none of that. I mean, even Sidney Bartholomew, he got hired by HRI. He knows other mayors, other cities, how they operate. He helps get that company into other cities to redo historic buildings. Even Sidney Bartholomew's got a legitimate job, like could give back something. There's nothing LaToya Cantrelle has of value. Mark Morial, I mean, it didn't last long. Put him as a lawyer at a local firm. Obviously didn't do anything, and no one showed up. After a few months, they let him go. He got the job in New York and had to get out of town anyway, I believe. The feds were like, leave or go to jail. So I just don't get why the mayor would even do this. But then, the mayor has to pay back Jay Banks, apparently. $85,000 a year, urban policy specialist. Jay Banks, yet again, another scam gimmick. So many people in New Orleans, black and white, politically connected, that make a living doing nothing for the city of New Orleans. Just middleman, the city needs to get something from this group, and this middleman's created, and he takes 5, 8, 10% of the total city contract for no reason. Self-created middlemen, folks that are working for the city of New Orleans that do nothing, and then folks that are contract employees of the city of New Orleans that do nothing. No, I'd love a free check, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? And it's so many different levels around Louisiana. I mean, when I was thinking about a free check, I thought about Burl Cain and his son, that other scumbag, warden, who is on disability and gets $3,500 a month on disability, and he's not disabled. Wouldn't you like every day walking out the door, every day, a crisp $100 bill sitting by your keys and wallet as you walk out the door every day, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, every day of the month, every day of the year? No, that's Burl Cain, his son, some little scumbag nobody in Louisiana that's pulling that $100 a day. You know how many other people are pulling those kind of scams? New Orleans firemen with the disabilities, and that's just disability. And then it's folks that have city contracts and folks like Jay Banks that get a urban policy specialist job. Wouldn't you love a job under Mayor LaToya Cantrelle that requires nothing from you? Not showing up, nothing. $85,000 a year. That's pretty good money if you can get it. What's that? After taxes, that's north of $1,000 a week. After taxes, that's north of $1,000 a week. For Jay Banks to do zero. No, it's sinful. That's why the city of New Orleans is broken. I'm not going to bring up the specific restaurant. It's a New Orleans chain. The lady mortgaged her house to do it. She has since passed. They used to be run out of New Orleans. After Katrina, they moved to Orlando. The board went from a bunch of New Orleanians to folks that worked at like Olive Garden and Carrabba's and, places like that. And they slowly but surely started cutting corners. And we don't need Creole tomatoes. We can get these tomatoes out of Georgia. And we save, $200,000 a year. Hey, we don't need to use these onions. We can get these onions out of here. We don't need to make our gumbo fresh. We don't need a butcher cutting the steaks. We can get them pre-cut out of Chicago and, vacuum sealed, on and on and on. So you add up these little things, changing tomatoes, changing the onions. We're going to use this purveyor that's cheaper with the lettuce. Who cares? It's just lettuce. With this other purveyor for steaks, we're going to get our potatoes from here. You add up these 10, 12, 15, 20 different things where some proud CEO and board members are like, we're saving $4.5 million a year. And y'all do hundreds of millions in business. So what are you really saving? 1-2% at most, maybe 1%. And you're downgrading the product by 50%. No, you add a bunch of little things together, it can create great things. You take away a bunch of little things, it can make something great, very good or fair or middle of the road or bad. No, in the city of New Orleans with Jalen Banks, urban policy specialist, $85,000 a year. Just these token little things, they add up, and they're dozens and dozens and hundreds and hundreds. And then all of a sudden it's tens of millions, maybe $100 million of waste and abuse in the city of New Orleans. Absolutely crazy. Speaking of the city, we spoke about it yesterday. How just from what the judge was saying in the middle of the the situation. There was no final ruling. I was like, this thing's looking like it's backfiring. Everything the mayor and the city's throwing out there, the judge is saying the opposite. No, we talked about this consent decree. It's been out there about 8 years now. And the last year or so, man, police can't do this, police can't do that. It's restricting the NOPD. It's handcuffing the NOPD on and on and on and on. Consent decree's got to go. The mayor's like, we've done enough. It's time to get rid of this consent decree. She goes in front of this federal judge and says, the consent decree is putting like a distributor, like a restrictor plate, like NASCAR. It's putting the handcuffs on our cops. We can't do the job. The consent decree is actually hurting us fighting crime. The crime problem in New Orleans, the consent decree is contributing to that. And this judge was like, what? This judge, flipped that one a 180 immediately. Are you kidding me? A consent decree is there because you guys were jokers as a police force, especially when it came to civil rights. So we had to come in and, have you guys run the police department in a different way. There are consent decrees with other police departments around the country. They comply, they improve, and the consent decree is improved. And consent decree is removed. You guys haven't complied, you haven't improved, and you're blaming the crime problem, the lack of being able to attack the crime problem possibly through the police on the consent decree. No, the consent decree, the judge says, isn't the problem. You guys haven't fixed your police problem. So not only am I not removing the consent decree, I'm enhancing the consent decree. So a 110% backfire of the city and mayor's plan, contesting the consent decree in federal court. The federal judge actually increases scrutiny of the NOPD. And I think this judge gets it. This judge isn't an enemy of the NOPD. I think this is an Obama Democrat-appointed judge who knows Chief Ferguson, knows the NOPD, trying to help them with their problem. But this seems like common sense, and it really reveals what, I didn't pick up on it right away and should have. I guess I got suckered in or just wasn't thinking through it clearly. But I was like, yeah, I get, no big deal if the mayor's going to go contest the consent decree. But after the ruling, you're like, boy, I didn't even think of that. That judge is not some woke judge and is not some lunatic, extremist judge on the right either. Just a judge looking at the facts. Wait, the consent decree is the problem? No, you guys have a problem. Consent decree is not the problem in other places. You guys have a problem. So you want us to remove the consent decree because you think that's what's causing you to have bad policing? You have bad policing because you have bad policing. And now, not only am I not removing the consent decree, I'm going to scrutinize the NOPD even more. Review them, see what they're doing even more. The judge even said things like, I'm taking y'all's word on stuff from 6 months ago, a year ago, and applying that today. Like we settled that 6 months, a year ago. Now I'm wondering, is that even fact what you told me 6 months or a year ago? The problems that you say are solved, are they actually solved? I need to scrutinize the police more. I need to find out my own answers. So a total backfire for the mayor and the city, their idea of contesting the consent decree in front of that federal judge. It's worse, you would argue. The NFL and DeShaun Watson split the difference, essentially. A judge said 6-game suspension. The NFL wanted an entire season. So it's an 11-game suspension now, an agreement between DeShaun Watson and the NFL. 11 games, $5 million in fines. I was flipping through social media on a Twitter one of them a few minutes ago during the break, and DeShaun Watson, mom, on 11-game suspension. No comment from DeShaun Watson. It's like, he agreed to it. What's he going to comment on? Yeah, he's not saying anything. He's not mad or upset about it. He worked that out with the NFL. That's his people in the NFL coming to that agreement. No, the judge said 6 games. The NFL appealed that ruling. DeShaun Watson and his people were like, that's probably not good. The 6 games probably not going to stick. The NFL's got a lot of valid points with the full season and may get it. If you want to play this year, we should compromise with these guys. And I think you take the 6-game suspension, you take the full season, you find the middle, that's 11.5. So 11-game suspension, $5 million in fines, or I don't know, maybe 2% of his contract, 2%. The Pistol Pete statue was unveiled earlier today outside of the building that bears his name, the Pete Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge. What a great statue. You really need to check it out. You can go to my Twitter, at Corey Johnson. I got it on there. You can check it out on a lot of different places. Just an incredible statue. I actually posted it on my Twitter when somebody caught the statue on an 18-wheeler being trucked into Baton Rouge about 3 weeks ago, maybe. Today, the ribbon was cut. It was officially unveiled. Pete with the ball behind his back, like his left hand's out in front of him. His right hand is, the ball's still hooked to his hand, but it is behind his back. It's like behind his right butt cheek and his hands behind his back. And it's just a great statue because it's like, that's better than Pete shooting or rebounding or just dribbling down the court. You're going to get the droopy socks and you're going to get the hair, the moppy hair and all that automatically. But just dribbling down the court doesn't say enough. And it's a statue. It doesn't move. It's not video. So just the right hand behind the back, passing the ball behind the back to someone, a no-look pass, dribbling behind his back, going behind his back, whatever it is, it really shows Pete Maravich what he was all about in statue form, which is amazing. Just genius by the sculptor or the person that gave the sculptor the idea, because it's really shows you what Pete Maravich is about. If Air Jordan is, flying through the sky and Shaq is dunking the ball, taking down the rim kind of thing with his, knees pulled up to his waist, Pete Maravich with the hand and the ball behind him is brilliant and just says it all. The statue is off the charts fantastic, as good as the name of the building. We're lucky in Louisiana. We got a few buildings that have great names. Louis Armstrong International Airport is as good of an airport name as any in the world. It's applicable. It's cool. It's got a great flow to it. It fits. It's brilliant. It's perfect. Louis Armstrong International. That's so great. It's our airport. It says it to the world. Something that the world knows about New Orleans. Great name. Eddie Robinson Stadium up at Grambling. Brilliant. Louisiana's a law. You got to be dead 5 years before they'll name a public building after you because you might be crooked. The old Shushan Airport gimmick, the lakefront airport. Eddie Robinson was alive. They smartly, the 105 House Reps, 39 senators in Baton Rouge, our legislature, they had an exemption of that rule, that law. Hey, in this case only, while Eddie Robinson's alive, we're going to name the public stadium at Grambling after him. And they did. And he got to go there while the ribbon was cut and enjoy it. He deserved it. One of the greatest college coaches and builders of men in the history of the game. So that's damn cool. The college football stadium in Louisiana at Grambling named Eddie Robinson Stadium. And then the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. It was always the Assembly Center, and PMAC, the acronym flows well. Pete Maravich Assembly Center. It's fantastic. Tough to beat. Dale Brown Court at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Hey, Rouse's Markets tastes like home. There's a Rouse's Market in your neighborhood or near your neighborhood. Boy, Rouse's has that chef's case with the great locally prepared foods. This isn't just like some grocery store with some, prepared foods. This is Rouse's. Houma, Thibodaux, South Louisiana, New Orleans born and bred Rouse's Markets. Those Cajun and New Orleans recipes that you love. Local folks making it, like you and me. Yeah, the chef's case with the prepared foods at each and every Rouse's Markets. Tough to beat. Best quality, best price, best selection. Check out the chef's case. Tastes like home, Rouse's Markets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Hey, y'all, it's Junket Cantrelle. And I gotta tell you, the summer of 2022 and the travel I've experienced, well, it's memories of a lifetime. I mean, come on, y'all. I went to Switzerland. First class, $10,000 just for the flight. The French Riviera. Singapore. How about Singer-Rich? And next, I'm heading to Africa again. All on the city's dime. Yeah, you right. It's LaToya the Destroyer. Where will I go next? One thing's for sure, I won't be paying for it. Spending someone else's money is so much fun.
She danced. She moved. She shake. LaToya the Destroyer Cantrelle, Mayor, City of New Orleans.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prefix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, for the last few months, we've been on YouTube. Go to YouTube, put in Corey Johnson, Kaare, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground, and click to subscribe. It don't cost nothing. Click to subscribe our YouTube channel. You can check out the 2 hours of the radio TV program live on YouTube every weekday afternoon, and you can check out every program after the fact on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. 5 o'clock power hour on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Heading towards the weekend tomorrow. You got to like that. Jay Banks, unbelievable, former city council member who apparently was taking money from Karen Carter Peterson. Jay Banks and his brother have this Jalen Group, this BS consulting firm. Karen Carter Peterson was funneling money through the Jalen Group from her campaign fund and from the Louisiana Democratic Party fund because she was president and could dole out the cash. And the Jalen Group was kicking her money back, taking money for personal gain, and the Jalen Group taking a cut. That's the FBI's story. That's piecing together the most basic information that's out there for everyone to look at the FBI. For the public to look at. Karen Carter Peterson going through the Jalen Group and a couple of other political consulting BS groups and them kicking her back the money and them taking a cut. So the FBI could be going after Jay Banks and his brother easily. And anyone who's fair and objective, black, white, Democrat, Republican, and looks at the information we have and truly tries to be fair and objective about it, you would come to the conclusion that Jay Banks and his brother have a BS political consulting firm and took a lot of money from Karen Carter Peterson and the Democratic Party and did nothing in return. That's what the FBI says. Even with all of this, the FBI sniffing around, LaToya Cantrelle appoints him, anoints him to the city's taxpayer, to a city taxpayer finance gig, the urban policy specialist. That's what he is. I want to be urban policy specialist because I can tell you this, there's nothing special about Jay Banks. But it is special that he has a gig that requires no work, no showing up for work, no results, nothing expected of him from the mayor, zero, nothing. And he'll pull $85,000 a year. After taxes, that's north of $1,000 a week. After taxes, that's north of $1,000 a week. It's mind-boggling how we just let this go in New Orleans. And how many Jay Banks do you think there are that are on the city payroll doing absolutely nothing? Crazy. It backfired on the mayor and the city, the idea of contesting the consent decree in federal court. The judge said, City, is your argument really that the crime's a problem because of this consent decree, that it's handcuffing you? Okay, that's not the problem. The problem has nothing to do with the consent decree. So not only am I not going to remove the consent decree, I'm going to scrutinize the NOPD even more because apparently you're getting nowhere closer to the consent decree, justifiably being removed. So the mayor and the city going into federal court to get the consent decree removed backfired. More scrutinization of the NOPD than ever before. The NFL and DeShaun Watson, I guess, split the difference. A federal judge set a 6-game suspension. The NFL appealed. They wanted a full season. That's 17 games. I think DeShaun Watson and his people were like, the 6-game ain't going to stick. We're probably going to fall somewhere in the middle or get a whole season. Why don't we bang this out with the NFL? And they did, splitting the difference. It's an 11-game suspension and $5 million in fines. $5 million in fines. Hey, every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Air conditioning experts that come immediately. Honest, fair and honest Lucas and the boys who are air conditioning experts and come right now. You're just getting home, AC's not working right or worse, not at all. Call 841-3300. They'll get it running this afternoon, tonight. 841-3300. 841-3300 or find River City's Total Maintenance online, nolaac.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you every day. This program's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the corner, right on the price. Lamarck Ford, #1 Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, same thing. The #1 Lincoln dealership in the state of Louisiana. Lamarck Lincoln, probably #1 in Mississippi and Alabama too. They've got the quick lane, any make, any model, the collision center, any make, any model. That's convenience for you. The pre-owned superstore, 15 acres, over $50 million invested. You think Ronnie would be done, but he's just getting started. Apparently at 70-something. Now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood and Harahan, Jefferson Highway, corner Horde. The legendary Crescent City Ford is now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Got you covered by the river in Harahan, and of course, the big store, the Lamarck Automotive Complex by the lake in Kennebra on the car corner, right on the price. What's that, Blue Boy? It's already over the program. That's crazy. Straight up 6 o'clock in what, buddy? About 15 seconds? 93.9 FM, New Orleans Legal ID. What else, buddy? Thank everyone for watching and listening. Thank Jason for running the controls. And remind folks to smile, be happy because of what, buddy? It's freezing? What'd you say? Free. Oh, Friday. Fantasy Friday tomorrow. You're right, buddy. Thanks, Blue Boy.